Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. Arda Guler has spoken out about his Real Madrid future after Liverpool star Dominik Szoboszlai took aim at the playmaker over his lack of game time this season. Guler has made just 10 starts for Madrid across all competitions this season, and he has been linked with a move away from the Bernabeu in the summer. Arsenal were among the clubs said to be interested in Guler's services, but the 20-year-old has insisted he has no desire to leave Madrid. Madrid gave me a plan, and I still believe in it, the Turkey international said. I'm sure I'll succeed at Real Madrid. I've even bought a house in Madrid. I work very hard, and I'm always ready to play. I love Real Madrid fans, and their support means a lot to me. I'm very grateful. I came to Real Madrid to play and be an important part of this team, and I won't stop fighting until I achieve that. Guler's comments come after he was involved in a spat with Szoboszlai after Turkey beat Hungary 6-1 on aggregate in the UEFA Nations League playoff. After Guler shushed Szoboszlai during the second leg, the Liverpool midfielder fired back at him on social media. In response to an image of Guler's gesture, which was shared by a Hungarian news outlet on Instagram, Szoboszlai wrote 1,088, which is the exact number of minutes his rival has played for Madrid so far this season. However, Guler fired back with a post on his Instagram story, writing, "This guy is a joke. Isn't 6 goals enough to shut you up?" Guler's words were also accompanied by a shushing face emoji. Turkey boss Vincenzo Montella, meanwhile, has insisted he has no concerns over Guler's lack of starts for Madrid. He is an exceptional footballer, Montella said. We all know his talent and what he can contribute. It is a well-known and generally accepted trend that players with consistent game time at their clubs are usually selected for the national team. However, we must take a more understanding approach with Arda Guler. Turkey captain Hakan Çalhanoğlu, though, has urged Guler to join him at Inter Milan. Arda is a very important player. He's like a little brother whom I love very much, Çalhanoğlu said. I would like him to come and play with us at Inter, although I don't know if this is true. I don't know what his situation is at Real Madrid, so I don't want to get too involved in this situation because in the end, he knows more. Although, of course, I want and believe he deserves to play more minutes. Real Madrid and Turkey ace Arda Guler has fired back at Dominik Szoboszlai after the Liverpool midfielder sent a jibe towards his opponent following Hungary's Nations League relegation. Turkey earned a place in League A following their playoff win, but the tie did not come without bite. Guler's side head into the game with a 3-1 lead from their first leg and were able to secure their victory with 3 more goals away from home. Goals from Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Abdülkerim Bardakçı and Guler earned a comfortably victory for Vincenzo Montella's team. Real Madrid's 20-year-old star, who I impressed during last summer's Euro 2024 tournament, was unafraid of antagonizing Hungary's captain and shushed his opponent during the clash. Szoboszlai certainly appeared to be riled. The Anfield star was unafraid of triggering an online spat as he commented on an image of the incident that was shared by a Hungarian news outlet on Instagram. He sought to put down Guler by writing 1,088 in reply. The number corresponds to the exact number of minutes he has featured for Real Madrid in all competitions. The former Fenerbahce youngster was not about to take such a remark lying down, however, and has posted to his Instagram story. Guler made a comment in return, along with an image of the incident. "This guy is a joke," he said. "Isn't 6 goals enough to shut you up?" The words were accompanied by an emoji that had its finger to its lips in a shushing gesture. The weekend's result sees Szoboszlai's national team drop down into League B, while Turkey were promoted to League A as a result. Ties were contested by the 4 third-ranked teams from League A and the 4 runners-up from League B. Belgium, Serbia and Greece also earned places in A. Guler, joined Real Madrid from Turkish giants Fenerbahce in 2023 and has made 43 appearances for the La Liga club. Carlo Ancelotti has predominantly made use of the attacker from the bench, however, and Guler has scored 9 goals in that time. Turkey boss Montella does not have concerns over his playing time at the moment, however. The Italian is confident the attacking midfielder has plenty to offer his nation, even with limited minuted. He is an exceptional footballer. We all know his talent and what he can contribute, he said. It is a well-known and generally accepted trend that players with consistent game time at their clubs are usually selected for the national team. However, we must take a more understanding approach with Arda Guler. Liverpool winger Federico Chiesa is poised to stay at Anfield and fight for his place, despite speculation over a return to Italy, the player's father has claimed. Former Italy international Enrico Chiesa never played club football outside his homeland, but believes his son is beginning to see the rewards after working hard. Liverpool signed the younger Chiesa from Juventus over the summer for just £12.7 million. He had a tough time with injuries in the first half of the season, but is now fit and ready to contribute during the run-in. The 27-year-old scored his first Reds goal in the FA Cup in January and added another against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final. That late effort wasn't enough to drag Arneslot's team back into the game at Wembley, but it remains something to build on. Chiesa is under contract with Liverpool until the summer of 2028. Even so, he was linked with an early exit, with Napoli among the clubs linked in January. The player's father insisted there are no regrets over his departure from Juve, where he played more than 100 games across the last 4 seasons. Chiesa has yet to return to the Italy setup since moving to Anfield, but he is in no hurry to leave English football. Federico is doing great in Liverpool. He is in a top club that is first in the league, and now we hope they win the Premier League, Enrico Chiesa told Tuttosport. He is there to play his cards. He has a great chance. This summer, I told him what I have been telling him since he was little. Because in reality, until he was 15, he didn't play often. And when he asked me, what should I do? I told him to keep training, not to give up, to be ready when his time came. Back in January, when Chiesa opened his Reds account, manager Arneslot urged caution. The former Fiorentina man helped secure a 4-0 win over Accrington Stanley in the FA Cup, but the Premier League leaders would suffer a shock defeat to Plymouth Argyle in the next round. It is definitely a good first step, but as much as I like the way Accrington Stanley played, we have to take into consideration that we're talking about League 2 level, Slot said. It is good to have him back on the pitch. He was a threat, but let's not get carried away. Chiesa has still only played 25 minutes of Premier League football all season, and was an unused substitute for each of the Reds' last 5 outings. He completed his first full 90 of the campaign against PSV in the final Champions League phase game in January, but remained on the bench for both legs of the round of 16 meeting with Paris Saint-Germain. Michael Owen believes Liverpool must set a precedent in their contract policy to keep Mohamed Salah from leaving. The Egyptian is out of contract at the end of the season and is set to leave Merseyside after 8 years unless a new deal can be agreed between the two parties. Should he depart from the Premier League leaders, he would do so on the back of what has been perhaps the best season of his career, having scored 32 goals and tallied 22 assists in 43 games across all competitions. Owen, who spent the first 8 years of his career at Anfield, believes the 32-year-old wants to stay at the club, but Liverpool's hierarchy must make a special exception for Salah in their contract offer. Mo Salah's an interesting one. I think Mo Salah wants to stay. In fact, I'm pretty sure he wants to stay, the ex-England striker told TalkSport. I think Liverpool are going to have to bend the rules slightly. They might say, oh right, only 2 years for players of this age. But he's no normal player. He's as fit as a flea. He's dedicated. He lives in the gym. He's so professional. You can't tell me that he's not going to be at the same level in 3-4 years. I mean, he's just unbelievable. So I would bend the rules. I would give him the contract, the length of contract. I'm also not that type of person. A fan that says, just give him what he wants. He's brilliant. We'll win the league with him. No, because you can't put your club at risk. But I don't think it's got to that stage. To replace him, it's going to cost an awful lot more. You're not going to pay a transfer fee for him. So I would do whatever it takes to keep him, and I think he wants to stay. But sources tell me that they're still quite a way apart. In the scenario that Salah, who is believed to earn over £300,000 a week, ends his tenure at Anfield this summer, Owen pinpointed Bournemouth winger Antoine Semenyo as a potential replacement, while urging his former side to attempt to swoon Alexander Isak from Newcastle. I think if he, Salah, was to go, Liverpool would look to replace him or find another attacking player, because I think Darwin Núñez will probably go as well, he said. There's lots of alternatives out there, but no one can replace Mo Salah. There's no one out there that is going to get his numbers. There's been a few rumours lately about different players. Alexander Isak would just be an incredible move if Liverpool could get him. But I'm sure virtually every team wants him, and Newcastle are desperate to keep hold of him, so that would be an interesting one. I like Antoine Semenyo at Bournemouth, who plays in the same position as Salah. I like him, a younger version, but definitely got energy, scoring capabilities and a good player. Good.